Good afternoon, Arts Academy Elementary families. This is Mrs. McCullum, principal. I'm offering you an update with everything that we've been working on since the Board of Trustees approved our virtual opening last Thursday. Our goal is to make sure that our opening is as perfect as possible. Unlike the spring with the emergency closing, our teachers don't know your child doesn't know their teacher, so we do have that additional challenge, and we're very well aware of that. So our focus right now is, for the long term, how we're going to be managing everything, but right now we want to focus on how we're going to get started and connect with you and your child. So for some general updates, just to confirm, our first day of school is still September 8th. There's been no change with that. Our building will be closed for Labor Day. Our goal is to have that prior week, August 31st, dedicated to handing out devices and making sure you have your teacher assignments by then. We are also working on other things like a virtual open house and kindergarten orientation, but those are still in the planning phase. One of the things that's important for you to know, because your children will be logging in on our devices, is that we do have a new domain. So all students will have the same email address that they had last year, except instead of artsacademyelementary.com, it has been shortened a little bit to artsacademyecs.org. You will get more details on that. If you were to email a staff person using the old email account, it would still work. But this is hopefully going to help us in terms of just having those long email addresses. Our website also will follow that domain. During this virtual marking period, we will be distributing breakfast and lunch. So we will be asking parents to let us know in advance if you plan to pick up a meal, whether you are paying for it or whether you qualify for the free and reduced. We will be sending an online form for you to do that shortly. The way that you will communicate with us for the meals that you are ordering, and the way that you will also apply for the free and reduced meal program will be through the School Cafe app. This application must be done every year. So even if your situation has not changed, they do update over the summer. And right now we are still working with them to get this set up for you, but once it is set up, we will let you know right away, and we'll tell you how you can register. That is how you will also receive any upcoming pandemic benefits. So it will be very important that you do this, but it's not quite ready just yet, which is typical for this time of year. During our virtual opening, the school building will remain open. We will have modified hours like we do now, but they will probably be a little bit different. We will be open, obviously, for meal distribution. And we are open for special education evaluations for students who need a reevaluation, or for any child that we are concerned about and we want to do a screening. We will be bringing them into the building for that. All of our English language learner screenings need to be done, and they can be done virtually, but we are also exploring the possibility of having this done in the school building. Because we are not in the red, and even though we know that we were not able to fully bring children into the building for the first marking period, we do want to consider other small group activities or anything we can do for in-person socialization. So please know that that is important to us, and it is on our minds, but we don't have anything set at this moment. All right, home kits. So again, I know a big issue for parents last year was having to print, having difficulty with access. So we have received all new Chromebooks for our students in grades 2 to 5. And we are still waiting on some devices for the iPads for kindergarten and first grade. These will be managed devices, meaning it will simplify the login process for parents. When they open the computer, it will take them right to where they need to go. It will have protections so that they are not accessing websites that would pose any danger to your child. And Same thing for both Chromebooks and iPads. But this will take some setup on our part. So while we're still waiting for some of the devices to arrive, we are working very hard to get these devices set up for you so that we can try to get them distributed the week of August 31st. So we will keep you posted. But we're in tremendous spot that we were able to access them. Thank goodness we ordered them early because it took them all summer to get here. So we're happy about that. We have also started putting together home kits for every single child. Every student will get their own Arts Academy drawstring bag, and every student will be receiving what you see listed here. So there will be additional items that will vary by grade level, maybe some arts items and things like that, but bare minimum, these are the things that we'll be offering, including paper and some workbooks as well. Okay, this is the big one, I know, virtual learning schedule. So once we knew that we were going to go only with the virtual option, we were able to start focusing on the details. This is a schedule that is just being proposed. We're meeting with the staff on Tuesday to discuss the details, but this is what a sample schedule might look like. In order to provide more face-to-face support, it calls for certainly a different schedule than your child may have had if they were in the building. So we are looking at the schedule varying by day. So up here you'll see Monday, Wednesday, Friday versus Tuesday and Thursday. These are details that we're going to be working out, but again, as a sample, the teacher on this column schedule would be engaged in reading lessons with groups of 10. We really don't want to try to have a whole group lesson of 20 students. It's not manageable. It's not the best way to really address that every child's engaged. So these larger group meetings will only be about 10 students each. 9 a.m. we will offer this morning meeting for all students. That will be every day. And then the arts class, your child will have one arts class for the entire quarter, and then a new arts class for quarters 2, 3, and then 4. So this is to, respond to your concerns that there was just too much to do. There were too many things to focus on. So one arts class per marking period. And again, that'll vary between a larger group, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays would be smaller groups of about 4 to 5 students maximum to get more individualized attention and to engage in better activities. You'll also see here that there are open times built into the schedule. This is where you have flexibility, where the children have practice assignments that they can do either on their computer or on a workbook. They don't have to work on those things necessarily during these times. We know that everybody's home situation will vary. But we will also take advantage of these open periods to offer more intensive support or interactions with the special education teacher, English language learners, title reading and math, or even counseling. So these are all the details that we're still working on. Down here in blue, you'll see that it's still very important to us that we engage with all of our students. We have our behavior specialists, our school psychologists, maybe working on groups that she had started prior to the end of the school year. Those might be groups based on, need for support with anxiety, support with trauma, maybe the death of a family member, you name it. Those will be different groups that parents will be able to sign a permission slip for to join. And we have Miss G for creative movement. She is our only teacher for all of K-5. So this will not be every day, but it will allow her a block of time that she can, schedule to meet, with the different classes. And then finally, down here, every class will have either science or social studies. Again, in the best interest of the students to manage their schedule, we will only be focusing on one subject per quarter. So, we will be offering flexibility. We are starting the day a little bit later to allow for those families who need to get their child to daycare. And we may go a little bit later as well because, social studies here is starting at 3:30. So shifting the whole day back, we hope will help everyone. And we will continue to update you once we are able to work out all these details and develop your child's schedule. Another concern from parents is that there were just too many programs to log into. So these are the core programs. Just take a moment over here and focus. We will be using iReady for reading and math. Many of you could not access these programs on your own devices. So again, another wonderful reason to be excited that we have our own devices, because the students will be able to access this very wonderful program that will offer instruction, practice, and testing. So our K-3 students will access Foundations. Brain Pop is another program that we use for all subjects. And then we have Storyworks. It's a scholastic program. It's current events and reading articles. We will be having both online and in paper magazines that will go home as part of the home kit. Learning A to Z is another wonderful program that we are currently investigating to use for the fall. But these are the focus for September, and the teachers will not be, exploring too many additional programs until we get past our opening. One thing that I'm also currently working on is the use of Jupyter to access all of your assignments. So last year we used Class Dojo or we used Google Classroom. And I know, it was confusing for parents. They didn't know where to go. They would see very, long list of classes. What we will be hopefully working out with Jupyter is that it's the same login that parents currently have now. And then once you're logged in, you can choose your child at the top, and either more than one if you have siblings at our school, and you will be able to see their assignments right there. From there, you would be able to access Google Classroom and all these other programs on the right. Another benefit to using Jupyter is that you can set it in your own language, so that if you are, truly we understand your role in supporting your child at home. So it's important that you're able to understand and support everything that's going on. So hopefully if it's in your own language, that will be of assistance to you. So more information on that as we continue to work that out. And in terms of the virtual instruction model, it is certainly a little bit different than what it looks like in person. Our virtual learning this year, again, as I said, is completely different than it was in the spring. We heard you. We are very grateful and thankful that you were open to sharing with us, your concerns and your suggestions. So everything you see here is what we're trying to arrange in this new format. Virtual instruction activities will take the form of 3 different models of instruction. So you will have live interaction with your teacher, or your child may watch a pre-recorded video, maybe listening to instructions, or written, but that will be minimal. Followed by that instruction will be independent learning practice. And again, that's where your child could work on these things in the evening. They could work on it on the weekend. There's flexibility there, but there will be time that your child will be engaged in learning, not necessarily on the screen. And then again, another live session for the teacher to reteach the content, offer feedback and grading, and offer additional support. So this trio here will be how we are engaging with your child and how we will be reinforcing the skills and making sure that they're learning as best as possible from the home environment. So looking at the tools that we will use to accomplish this, for the live instruction or the pre-recorded lessons, these are some of the programs that the teachers may use. Flipgrid is a wonderful tool that the students love, so we're excited to utilize that. It's where they can record a video of their response to a book they read, or something along those lines. They can just tell the teacher how their day is going. FunHub and iReady are other software programs that the teachers may utilize to help, offer that instruction for the content. For the independent practice, your child might be online on the computer, but again, we're really excited to take advantage of the home kits and even sending home worksheets. So again, less time on the computer. Live reteaching for feedback will be either through Google Meet or Zoom, both of which we can access through Jupyter. So again, I know that was an issue for some families, logging in or wasn't sure where to go. Jupyter will embed the video right into its software. So that's one of the ways that our teachers will engage. Every child is getting a whiteboard, and again, workbooks. So, they might be actually writing on the whiteboard and then showing the teacher what they're doing right there on the camera. So again, we are, hopeful that this is going to be very meaningful learning experience for your child. So coming soon, again, we've been working nonstop since we got approval to move and focus only on the virtual model. So you will be getting your teacher assignments. The only reason you don't have them now is because we are still actively enrolling. So every day we have some withdrawals, families might be moving away, and then we have additional students enrolling. So that may force us to make adjustments on rosters if a number of children, leave in one class and we need to balance out the rosters, or if, another child's class might be just getting overfilled. So we're going to give it another week as we continue to manage the rosters, and then we will let you know as soon as possible who your child's teacher is. Your child's schedule will be finalized. We're putting together, we'll give you the exact instructions for your distribution dates and how you'll be able to pick them up. We'll be very flexible, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that everybody is able to pick up their device. We will be getting details for attendance and grading procedures. I do think attendance is going to be simple. You log in through Jupyter for your class meeting and your child is marked present. We are also working on virtual open house and back to school night options. It's something that we are very concerned about, again, trying to meet your child, hopefully in advance of the start of the school year. So it is something that we are also working on. I'm really happy with how many of you are signed in through Jupyter and Class Dojo. So those are our two primary ways to communicate. Please make sure that you have an account. If not, please contact Ms. Suarez at the front desk, and she will make sure to get you set up. So again, I will offer you another update, in a few days, and we're doing everything we can to keep you posted. So just thank you so much for choosing our school, and you'll be hearing from me again soon.